There's a look up at the intersection of Yonge and Bloor on a very bright and clear day. Let me just get to the other side of the intersection here. And that's a look east along Bloor Street East. And hey there, today is Saturday, June 20th, 2026. The time right now is 2:30 p.m. and the temperature is a rather nice 23 degrees Celsius. And I am heading somewhere that is rather interesting. Well, you would hope I would be. But starting on the 19th, which was yesterday, the city has pedestrianized a stretch of Church Street, something the city has long been in need of. As we get one last look at the scramble crossing at Yonge and Bloor. So I'm going to head south down Yonge Street, a street that should be a good candidate for pedestrianization. The city does have plans to reimagine stretches of Yonge, bringing it down to 2 lanes and adding bike lanes and increasing sidewalk capacity. But on Church in the Village, south of Wellesley to Alexander Street, is now pedestrianized, and it's going to be that way until August 21st. So it's not a weekend thing, it's not a certain time of day thing. There's a lot more permanence to it. It's essentially a pilot project. And I'll talk a little bit more about that along the way. There's a lot of commotion at the south end of downtown. Germany is getting set to play Côte d'Ivoire. I think that's how you pronounce it. At 4 p.m. at BMO Field, known as Toronto Stadium temporarily for the World Cup, and there were a lot of German fans out in that area, but I was watching that from at home. And the Netherlands are laying a beatdown on Sweden right now, 4-1. There's a look east along Charles Street. Maybe I'll go left at Isabella Street. And I'll get to Church north of the area that's been pedestrianized. And of course, I'm recording this with the Insta360 Luna Ultra. Things should be looking as good as they ever have on this channel, at least I hope so. I've been dialing in the settings.
Eventually, like they go.
What if we stood in front of him?
This is Pride Month.
I see the seat on.
So we are here. We're gonna head over to here And the village has been pedestrianized from here to there. And then I'm just going to keep going south a little bit after that. I'm really curious to check out what it's like over there, and I'm sure I'll be back next weekend, as that's when the big Pride Festival is, and next Sunday is the big Pride Parade. There's the Artful Dodger. But Toronto doesn't really do pedestrianized streets nearly as well as Montreal or some of the other cities I've been to in Europe and even Tokyo. We've really just got two little streets that are pedestrianized all summer long. Bel-Air Street in Yorkville, which technically isn't even downtown, and Market Street next to the St. Lawrence Market, but both of those are only a block, and this stretch of Church Street is only 2 blocks or so that's been pedestrianized. But that started June 19th, and it runs until August 31st. So it kind of conveniently lines up with the summer Pride season, patio season, and the World Cup. It's amazing how it takes a World Cup for the city to get anything meaningful done. And I think the broader logic is the city's trying to cater to an increased demand for pedestrianized areas. It went through Toronto and East York Community Council and then City Council. But the city also granted the general manager of transportation services the ability to cancel or close down the pedestrianized streets if there's any traffic or safety issues. Look at that beautiful blue sky. So I think it's best that it's treated more like a long street event closure than a fully rebuilt permanent pedestrian street, which hopefully one day we see. As we'll see when we get there, the east-west routes remain open. And provisions for emergency access and traffic management are part of the approval. So it's not really a permanent redesign, it's more like a summer-long pilot, you could say, with the city watching closely to see how deliveries and emergency access actually works. And it's got the support of the local BIA, the Business Improvement Area, as well as a lot of local businesses. In fact, the Business Association was a key backer of this pedestrianization. So this is Church Street, and we're at the north end of the Church Wellesley Village. So this whole area is going to be quite hopping in a week from now. CDs, DVDs. An old computer monitor. Neat little sale going on there. No transit modifications were really necessary. Church Street doesn't have any major transit routes, at least not on this stretch. Much further south of here, there are some streetcar lines that connect some of the east-west streetcar routes that streetcars can take when there's diversions in place. And people familiar with the state of politics in the province might be wondering if the Ford government is opposed to this, given they're very much anti-livable cities. Their entire ethos is about catering to the automobile and the car-centric suburbanite rather than the people that live and work in the city. But I don't think they've officially responded to this. There's Stormcrow Manor. A queer market has been set up at Barbara Hall Park. I did not know this was going on. There are plans to reimagine this park that are somewhat controversial. There's an AIDS and HIV memorial at the back that are at the center of that controversy. There's the memorial. I'm going to turn around and head back to Church Street.
Hello, everybody.
A lot of local artisans.
We're going to have a drag show at the back by the AIDS Memorial starting in about 5 minutes.
We just missed a drag show. The star of the show is just up ahead. It's also worth noting Kensington Market's pedestrian Sundays are in effect all summer through August on the last Sunday of the month. Speaking of areas in need of pedestrianization, that would be a top candidate.
Did you see my text?
In fact, in the 70s, the south part of Yonge Street was pedestrianized in a pedestrian mall, I think between 71 and 74. That was the area south of Dundas. And apparently that was quite popular. This intersection could be considered the heart of the village. Church in Wellesley. It is called the Church at Wellesley Village. Wellesley Station is just west of here. But one of the great things about going to Montreal in the summertime are exploring all the pedestrianized areas. Remember Avenue de Montreal being particularly nice. There's about 4 or 5 other ones there. This is a pedestrian pilot. The village is an inclusive, family-friendly, safe, queer space where everyone is encouraged to celebrate who they are unapologetically and authentically. Enjoy the space and be respectful and considerate of each other. June 19th through August 21st. Whereas it's obviously a very temporary feeling. Ginger. So arrangements have been made for delivery trucks to access these businesses through the laneways behind them. Connect 4, Mapo Korean Barbecue. I don't know the artist here. It's amazing how much calmer and nicer cities are when there's no vehicles buzzing around. Not to mention safer and more accessible. There's going to be some idiot whining in the comments about this, complaining about enjoying your 15-minute cities, not realizing 15-minute cities are an excellent thing. You have everything you want or need within walking distance. And if you want to have a car and go buzz off to some car suburban hellscape, you can do that. It's not like you're being limited to your 15-minute city. There's a lot of misconceptions about that concept going around online. This intersection has 3 of the 4 corners with big patios. The Church Moose, a Perkin pub. Hey. Look at this patio. Thought there might be a little more World Cup watching. Village Fest. It's possible I've had to cut that music out of the video. I imagine when it cools off a little bit later in the evening, the amount of pedestrian traffic would pick up quite a bit. And I'm sure I'll be back through here later this summer to experience that. I was kind of kicking myself for not coming here yesterday evening or last night. It was one of those things I knew about. I just lost track of. build the tee and the photos. Scan to upload. Apparently these things are able to stop vehicles in their tracks. But well done, Village BIA. Hopefully the first of many such developments in the city, and hopefully some of them become regular things, at least during the warmer months. With our current provincial government, it always feels like it's one step forward, two giant steps back.
Right.
And I guess the closure has led to a lot less traffic on these parts of Church Street leading into the village. This is Wood Street.
It was much.
And Maple Leaf Gardens is on the right. When I left, Alexa said there was going to be thunder showers, possibly around 5 or 6 p.m. tonight. This is pretty much perfect weather.
Oh yeah, I just have to open the door. It's a fucking observation, you cunt.
I'm not calling you names. Okay, thank you. Have a good day. Jesus Christ.
What was their problem?
They were taking a picture of the sidewalk. They said, please don't take a picture of me. And then they said, we're not taking a picture of you. And they started calling me a cunt. Fuck.
But you said it nicely, like,
I did. I said,
yeah,
please don't.
that's all it takes. A little please. No one should get mad over that.
I'm not saying anything to them.
All right, cheers. That's all I ask if someone doesn't want to be on camera. Just be nice about it. People have a right to take pictures, and knowing that guy's wishes, I'm going to give him a little bit of space. It's ironic that the guy he was talking to was holding a video camera. That's the way it goes. Oh well, I didn't see the whole interaction, but he seemed nice enough. If no one ever told you, we will. Very colorful looking billboard there. All right, we are at Church and Carlton.
Like, really? So you're telling me that?
There's Maple Leaf Gardens. Pot time hot pot. And I said I wasn't going to try to miss any Blue Jay games today, but it looks like I am doing just that. But they're already down 3-0 to the Cubs after getting absolutely shellacked yesterday. But I am curious to hear your thoughts and comments regarding the pedestrianized streets down in the comments below. I see it as largely a positive thing. The old Carlton Cinema across the street. As I make my way back to Yonge Street, I did a members exclusive walk along this part of Carlton Street last week. You can find that on the channel if you're a member or Patreon supporter. Now it's back to an unfortunately car-centric stretch of Yonge Street, one in dire need of protected bike lanes and probably a resurfacing. It is pothole central. What I think I'm actually going to do is do a live stream right after this. It's such a nice day. I'm out. I've got my gear. No, I don't. I forgot one of my cameras. The one that I live stream with. I'm a dummy. I'm just gonna continue down to Dundas. We'll see what the scene is like there, then I'll wrap this up, kick myself, and go back home. Oops, on that plan. That guy on the bike was yelling at the guy on the e-bike. one train sounds like it's heading north. Goes by underneath. I've said it before, but what an absolutely perfect day. They've been putting the games up at Dundas Square. But I'm guessing the Netherlands and Sweden game is over. And the Germany game doesn't start till 4. What a scene. There's a million people over there in front of the Eaton Center. There's an event going on at Dundas Square. Line up for the hop on, hop off bus.
No, listen, I want you guys to keep dancing, but dance in the front with everybody.
This is Desi Fest.
Go around the side and play the music on the ground. Go past the barricades. That's what it's
Anywho, I'm gonna get heading back to Midtown. I'm not sure if I'm gonna end up grabbing my stuff and coming out and live streaming or not. I do have plans a little bit later on tonight. But I hope you enjoyed this. I look forward to your thoughts and comments down below, especially regarding the pedestrianized Church Street. If you want to support what I do, there's links to my Patreon and YouTube channel membership down in the description. That is loud. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Yoink!